We got our own Clika. Strong Clika. 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 That's all we got is Clika. 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 Can you respect?
Welcome to La Clika Podcast.
Hey.
What's going on?
¿Qué onda acá?
Yeah, man.
We got a special guest. Not a guest, but a soon-to-be member of La Clika.
Special like special ed.
Like special, like back of the short bus with a helmet.
I got the helmet on.
Right.
I used to have it on. I graduated. I have a hat now.
It's one of
From
the
helmet to hat.
one of those headgears that one of the Steiner Brothers wore. Remember?
Just to keep my jaw in place and shit.
For those of you that don't remember the Steiner Brothers, there were a fantastic tag team wrestling team from the WWF, not the WWE, but the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, back in what 80s, 90s.
That's 80s.
80s. Yeah.
I say 80s.
The Steiner Brothers.
I was like in elementary when that shit was out. Yeah.
So let's introduce
Get away.
yourself.
Allow me to introduce myself. All right. Yo. I don't know. My name's DJ Mino. From Numerous Cat, or Numerous now, just straight up Numerous. Also from Live Rotations, that's our DJ crew. And I'm supposed to ask questions about DJs and all that, but nobody's asking any questions, so I'll ask a question. How about that?
Go for it.
What made you guys want to bring me on the podcast?
Well, I figure, you got skills, man.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You got skills, and there's a lot of people out there that would, one day be, inspired to be dope ass DJ and shit. So
Cool.
I figured, why not ask you to come on and educate people, and if anybody has any questions, hopefully you can answer them and tell them what a real DJ does, what everything what it is to be a DJ, what kind of advice you give to people and shit like that, man, and talk about how you did it, how you started, any influence and shit like that, but we'll leave it open, man. So
Okay. I mean,
I thought we brought him on because fucking Rick made us, dog.
that's what it was. See, I want to hear the truth. That's what it was.
I'm just kidding.
now you say it.
I'm just kidding.
It's like Rick's like, look, we got nobody else. They all failed. They canceled out.
And you know what? On top of that too, maybe this can serve as a platform and as an opportunity for you to also collaborate with somebody else who probably listens and maybe likes your style and likes what you have to bring to the table.
I'm always down to collab.
And it's a good forum for you to branch out if because I don't know, we're all musicians here, and I know
Right.
none of us like to limit ourselves and stuff like that,
Of course.
so it's always cool to mix and match and learn from others and bring to the table for others too, so this is what this is also.
Dope.
Well, the truth
I
is,
appreciate that though.
the truth is, you make me laugh. That's the only reason why you're here.
we were laughing earlier like a motherfucker, dude. We warmed this shit up.
I know I do that just by you just looking at me. You're like, I start laughing and shit. but-
Those eyebrows.
Laughing is contagious.
Well, I'll tell you, the Clika takeover at the Redwood Room. That's what it's called, the Redwood Room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard for to say that.
The Redwood Room. It's like
It's a tongue twister.
It's like she sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah, hell
Same
yeah. It's like
bullshit,
Pablo,
red leather, yellow leather.
Yeah.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Yeah.
Fucking hard, dude. Unique New York. What is it? Unique. See?
Unique
I told
New York.
you. There it is.
Pablo clavito.
It twisted my tongue. Oh, yeah.
Or can Adam make Eve love like Eve makes Adam come?
Holy shit.
That's
It's better that you need and not have and have and not need. What the fuck?
I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Yeah.
God, those are like crickets, man. You never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Every rose has its thorn.
Like
Just
every night has its dawn.
Oh, shit.
Just like every cowboy sings a sad song.
Every rose
Just
has
like every
its
cowboy
thorn.
is sad.
Hey, Dad. Every rose has its thorn. But
It's
back
Modelo
to
time. No.
back to La Clika takeover.
La Clika takeover was fun.
It
shit
was
was dope.
It sure was, man. I thought it was a fucking awesome setup, awesome production and whatnot.
Yeah.
And every performer was awesome. But I think Numerous stood out to me the most. I think you guys fucking tore it up. You guys did well.
Thank you, man.
And you guys brought it, man. You guys definitely brought it. So
Oh yeah.
good job.
We were talking about it outside. How this fool and fuck it, talk about it, fool. Come on, get real.
Yeah, share that story. That was a good story.
How the
say?
computer wasn't working when
Yeah.
OSK was gonna come on, and we were looking at each other like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do, fool?" And the show must go on because we're performing. You know what I'm saying? People are looking at us like, "Hey, man, fucking entertain me, motherfucker! I came here for free." You know what I mean? And so this fool was me. We were just looking at each other like, "Fuck it." I was like, "Hey, I'll make the beat and you scratch."
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck it, you do it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Fucking, you all do it too. I'm like, "Cool." So, bam, we put it together. That shit was crazy because it was just. It was not planned. It was spontaneous, but people probably looked at it like it was planned because OSK's back there like the computer's not working, but Bago and Mino are saving the day. You know what I mean? And it sounds good. There's no way this was not planned. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because I think you just said, "Hey man, I told you. I mean, just throw on a beat. Just throw on a fucking record with beats. Fuck it." And then he did it, and then I'm like, "Fuck it. I'm gonna just grab any record and scratch to it on top of that beat," and it became a performance.
Yeah.
And people were seriously tripping the fuck out, looking over there like, "Oh shit, you know, if they only knew that it was just a cover up."
Yeah.
For
And then
a
I
fuck
started
up.
I scratched the beat for you,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh my god, it's a show." Yeah.
Yeah.
They put this shit together. And like, no, that shit was pieced together as we were looking at it, like a
Yeah,
puzzle and shit.
dude.
We just put together.
We just
quickly.
confident
It was
enough.
crazy, but it was dope because
Yeah.
it shows that that's real showmanship. You know what I mean? Like most people would have been like, "No, hell no, it's not rehearsed. This is not supposed to wait. You know, I mean, it's not supposed to go like this," and they would back up. But we just stepped to the plate, like, fuck it. This shit's gonna happen, and we're gonna fucking entertain them no matter what.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I mean?
matter what.
It's-
And we
it's-
just
And
kept
that's
going.
dope.
It's really cool when spontaneity just takes over and
Yeah, hell yeah.
things just-
Adrenaline, fool,
yeah,
that shit, you
it
can
just
feel it.
fucking
You
happens,
can
you
feel it.
know?
You can feel it.
Yeah,
you,
'cause-
you plan shit and sometimes it don't go as planned.
I
you
know.
and
I
then it
planned a
fucks
lot
up
of
your
shit, you know what I
rotation
mean?
there,
And
you
they
know?
didn't give me no buds or nothing. I was like, fuck, man. No.
But that was
But that was another thing. It's another story. Another podcast. This is La Clika. We're about music.
But it was a very
not about
fun
the green
time. It was a
culture.
very fun moment, man. That
It was dope.
We just looked at each
I had a
other.
good
We're just
time.
like we're like jazz musicians looking at each other. Like, hey man, all right, you start. Oh, go. Hey man, just keep going, keep going. Fuck, keep going. And we look over, and half of the shit was being done with OSK because the computer was not the best. You know, not his whole the setup. We're having issues with the connection, and we're like, how
The
the
shit
fuck-
wasn't working.
Yeah, it
The shit wasn't working.
But we stepped in.
There would have been
confident.
complete silence
confident, like,
if
fuck
we
it,
didn't do
got
that.
This. We got this. Don't worry about it.
Fuck yeah.
And it
And
just
you
turned
got it
into
done.
and it turned into a show.
You got it done.
And we took over. We took over.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like
Like
Rocky
Clika
right
took
now.
over.
Oh,
It
fuck
was
yeah.
coming over me. But then it
Very
went away.
good.
So you guys, instead of being Captain Save-A-Ho, you're Captain Save-A-Show?
Yeah.
There it was.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And you know, it was worth it more to save the show than save a hoe.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Yeah, I would rather
I
save a
felt-
show
Yeah,
before any
exactly.
hoe.
I felt a sense of accomplishment
Any day.
afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, I did a good thing for humanity.
You guys probably did
After
save
I
some
saved
hoes
the
that
hoe the
were
last
there.
time, I was like, what the fuck did I spend that money for? Shit. What an idiot. Anyway, La Clika, yes, the show was great. It was the takeover, and we were thinking about doing another one, but I didn't say that because it's not really in the works yet. So let's rewind it. Here we are, La Clika Podcast.
Yeah, we're not probably, not gonna do another one in July.
In July?
Yeah.
Why July? Tell the truth.
Well, not July. We'll not do it in July.
Tell the truth.
You don't know.
Why July?
Why'd you lie?
So, does any of you guys have a question for a DJ that you've been wanting to ask a DJ, but we're afraid to?
Well, let's, I don't know, start from the beginning. How long have you been DJing?
Since 95, late 95.
Awesome.
Late 95.
And tell us about your, your origin and how it is that you got to where you're at now. Because you know how it is. We all go through trials and tribulations. And I mean that like with... I've become a gearhead.
I've been to court too, so
yeah.
trials, I know all about it. No, I was like,
but gear,
oh, good looking. Gracias.
there's certain things that you start off with, and then you evolve into other things and
Oh man,
gear, style, methods,
It's
everything.
funny you say that because I started with one turntable and it was not a 1200. It was like a SL 120 or some shit like that. I don't know what it was, but it was belt driven.
Yeah.
And then I had to have like a hell of a lot of slip back to those, the plastic and all that.
Okay.
And then the needle was an old, whatever the shit came with, and I had to have a fat nickel on top of it, otherwise it would skip all over the place. And what I would do, my homeboy Scatterbrain, he took me to a place called Dynamic Sound and Lighting on Crenshaw in Gardena.
Rosecrans and Crenshaw.
Yeah. And then so we went there and I bought a mixer, a little Gemini with a sampler. And I only had one turntable, so I would play the song, and at the end of the song where it was just the beat, I would sample 8 seconds of it or whatever just to loop it. And then after the loop, I would let the loop keep going. I would take the record off, put the next record on, and mix into the loop that was just looping on the sampler.
Crazy,
That's how I started. Until I got my turntables, that's pretty much how I started.
When you got 2.
Yeah, when I got 2, that's another story. My homeboy hit me up, was like, yo, this guy want to sell some turntables. I'm like, cool. I went all the way to the valley with my homeboy Chavo. He drove me all the way up there in this little CRX. We went up there, and we barely had any money like for gas and all that. I went up there with $600. He was selling it for $600. 2 turntables, a mixer, and all this other shit, right?
The
So
coffin,
I went
was
there.
it the coffin? The
See, wait, it was a big ass coffin, the kind that like wrapped around you and shit. Like you felt like a drummer and shit, like you were, from Def Leppard or some shit. But anyway, you're right there. And anyway, I was talking to the dude. I'm like, yeah. So why are you trying to sell them? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, because one of the turntables was broken. He's like, we went to a party. And they tripped on us, and they beat up 2 of my homies. And we went and got all the other homies, came back, and hog-tied them all up and just ransacked the whole house, and everybody
Jacked
came
the
up on
shit.
something, yeah. And he's like, I came up on the turntables. He's like, I tried it. He's like, I just don't have time for it. He's like, man, I got kids now. I can't do it. He's like, I'd rather somebody pick it up that really wants to fuck with him. And I was like, man, I really want to fuck with him. So he's like, fuck with him. So he's like, give me $600. I go, you know what? Can I give you $590? Because I need $10 for gas to get back home. I swear to God, this is a true story. True shit. And so the dude was like, yeah, don't trip. And I was like, I don't care. I'll take all that shit. And I got 2 crates of records, too. Old shit. Like De La Soul, Tribe, a lot of old shit. Like Queen Latifah, all kinds of old shit. And LL Cool J, I can keep going. Anyway, but I won't. So I took the shit, dude, and that's how it started. I had the records, and I remember one of them was all janky, and it was all broken. It had a scuff on it and everything. And he told me he dropped it. That's how it fucked up, because he told me the whole story. Like, when he was running out with him, he dropped one of them, and he's like, yeah, that's the one I dropped, dog. You got to get it fixed. I was like, yeah, because the shit doesn't play. And that's how I started, fool.
Do you still have that record?
Late 95.
You still got that record that you still have it?
I have a lot of those records.
Yeah?
The crates.
Yeah.
I have the actual crate still.
Damn.
That the guy gave me and shit.
How'd you meet that fool?
I didn't meet him. It's the homie, what's his name? Last name Gaston. I can't remember his first name.
Should be like, hey, dog, you give this shit to me for free, or I'm
It
calling
was
the
back
cops,
in the day.
dog.
It was back in the day. My homie, last name Gaston. I remember that. And he's like, yeah, because everybody knew I wanted to start, and they were like, yeah, this fool's got some tables for sale, and I bought them motherfuckers. Dude.
So are you still on tables or
Yeah.
Serato or CD or what?
Still on tables. Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
still. I
man.
mean, I use Serato, but I use the controller, the vinyl control, just because I like the feel. I have to have that feel, the vinyl feel.
That's awesome.
I could use the controllers, but it's I'd rather be on vinyl. It's more like down my alley. You know what I mean? Feels more
Explain
natural.
to people out there that don't know about the controller thing.
Yeah,
Well-
what's the difference between all that?
It's a trip. It's like how could I put it? Well, when you're using vinyl control, every single movement that you do is represented. You know what I mean? Like if you go fast, slow, whatever it is, it knows and it grasps that. But the digital stuff is not quite that fast, I think. Sometimes you go too fast or too slow, whatever. It sounds digital. It's like, you know what I mean? Like digital sound. I can't do it. I'm not a robot. So, but it sounds weird, like kind of glitchy, like or whatever if you go too slow. And with vinyl, it doesn't sound that way. Vinyl is true. And even though Serato vinyl is not true vinyl, it's the closest you can get to digital performing with vinyl feel. So I stick with it. I love it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's have a round of applause for that, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yes.
Next contestant on the Price Is Right.
Well, let me ask you something. When you do like a gig on Serato, do you ever mix it up with just raw vinyl?
What do you mean? Like
do you,
if I do a gig, like a regular gig on Serato.
yeah, and then do you actually play vinyl too, or just
Sometimes if I don't know. Usually, if I'm gonna go vinyl, I go all vinyl. If I gotta do a Serato gig, I just do a Serato gig. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny you say that because one time I went to a gig and I brought a crate of records just in case. It's when I first started using Serato, and I forgot my hard drive. So when I was there setting it all up, I was going for Serato shit, right? So I was setting it all up, and I'm like, oh fuck, my hard drive! I don't have my hard drive. I have no music. But I was glad that I brought one crate, and it was a party in like Torrance or some shit. And so I was like, fuck it, I have one crate. So I started playing all these records. And I just put the computer down and nobody even saw it. And I started playing records. And these kids were all receptive, dude. They were like, oh shit, records? And they were all looking at it and they were grabbing the sleeve and reading the vinyl sleeve and all that shit. And they were just like, oh wow, look guys, look, it's records. And they were all, like old fossils. And I was the last living dinosaur or some shit. Look, guys, he's still alive. You know what I mean? Like, and I was there, like, yeah, guys. Just come on down, everybody, crowd around. Yes.
The fucking kids were like, my uncle used to have some shit like this, but they hog-tied him and jacked his ass.
Yeah. Exactly. I can't believe this guy's still alive. Yeah. So he's running free, and it was crazy because that crate saved my life that night. Because it was a gig that I had to get paid for and all that. And if I didn't bring that crate, I would have been fucked. Because you know what I mean? I had to go all the way back home and it was crazy traffic and all that.
That'd be a badass fucking t-shirt.
It was cool, dude. It was trippy, but I was tripping out how they were so receptive to vinyl. I thought they were going to be like, come on, play my fucking favorite song, that new shit, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say no names, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? To protect the guilty. But, but yeah, dude, they were receptive to vinyl. I was really bugging out on that. And that makes me happy as fuck. That's a trip. I love that shit. Yeah, it's a trip. You know how that feels because you're a fucking vinyl DJ.
Yeah, I don't even know Serato that good.
Exactly.
But I know what I was trying to say. That
I know Serato. He's my homie. I called him yesterday. Talked a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
he texted me actually.
I know a guy named Sir Otto.
I know a guy named Cerote too.
Sir Otto.
At least we call him that. ¿Qué onda Cerote? He's Salvadorian.
He's a lord in Wales.
Yeah.
Sir Otto.
Sir Otto
of Suffolk.
Domo
that sounds like a fast car.
Arigato,
I've got a Sir Otto GT. Really? Yes, of course. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Otto of Wales.
There's also a Sir Otto of dolphins as well. Yes, porpoises.
Her Majesty the Queen and her new husband, Sir Otto.
You know what? I heard that.
That's like Spanglish. Sir Alto. Stop. No, mames. Go ahead.
I heard about that whole vinyl thing that you're talking about because I heard many DJs talk about that, right? And I heard them interview. I forgot who was talking, but they said that when a DJ plays vinyl, the crowd looks at you.
Yeah.
They come at you and they look at the records.
They want to see it.
Yes, because they want to know what is this fool playing, and they'll actually go to the record and look and see the freaking label, what the hell they're playing, and they, that intrigues them, as opposed to somebody having a fucking computer in front of them. They can't even see what's coming.
Right.
So it's like they look at you.
It's because it's tangible. The music is on that piece of vinyl.
Yeah.
It's not on the computer. It's on the vinyl. So the only way to hear it is to have that needle drag across that groove. Yeah. You feel me? And it's a whole different world. Not only that, the sound is different too. Because I've read that analog sounds make you hit the body in a different way. Because, we're all like electrical and the aura and all that, the endocrine system, how it all works with the chakras and whatnot. We're susceptible to like electricity, electromagnetics and all that. And so music is the same way. It's just sound waves. And so when it hits you, it knocks you out, dog. It feels good. Fool, some music, you know how you hear something and you're like, oh shit, that sounds good. Vinyl and like acoustic sounds are different than digital sounds. You know what I mean?
It has a better lower frequency.
Exactly, because the frequency range is bigger than our compressed MP3 or whatever. You know what I mean? Or 16-bit sound. Yeah. It's fatter. And sometimes you need that fat.
God, I wish there was others like you, bro.
Hey, respect, dog.
You're fucking scarce. You're a limited supply, bro. I'm
not scared, dog. Don't say I'm scared. What did you say? What did you say? Scared.
And like, not very many people that we've come across can understand music like that, you know?
Yeah.
And sound and sonics and all that shit. And we're around that shit all the time because we're fucking playing guitars. We're always mixing and matching gear. And we're the same way. It's just with us, it's amps and shit. Like, you know what? Like, my Fender Bassman sounds way better than my fucking Marshall, you know? And I get it, dude. So
it's a certain tone you're looking for, and it's like, oh, I know what's gonna give it to me and what's not.
So I think on the tone and sonic level, I can relate to you.
That's dope.
That's
Respect.
fucking awesome.
That's why he's joining the Clika.
I'm like, that's what you need over there, dog.
The orange?
My orange
yeah,
amp.
those are
That's just
tight.
sweet.
No, that gives you.
They're
the
also
sonics.
orange.
I got that from Sir Otto.
So,
It's orange.
Otto of Wales.
Not orange, it's orange.
Anthony, I give you my orange.
Thank you, you bloody cunt.
Thank you, Sir Otto. Thank you very much.
Hey, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
No, but for real, it's Modelo time. No, it's fine.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Negra
Like,
modelo time.
some people are thinking of what to ask you. I'll give them time to think about it. But I have one question for you.
Okay.
What's the very first DJ you seen, heard that said, I want to do that shit right there?
Damn, that's a hell of a question. Like, seen or heard?
It doesn't matter.
Because seen would be like on MTV or
okay,
some
say
shit.
say you're in your
Heard?
freaking, say you're in you're doing homework.
I gotta be honest, I think it was Joe Cooley, DJ Joe Cooley.
Oh, yeah?
Everlasting Bass. When I heard Everlasting Bass, it was like bass. I'm like, what?
Everlasting
I'm like, what's going on? Is the guy putting the button, like pushing the button? What's going on? Like, yeah, and then but I heard it, babe. I'm like, oh no, there's something else going on right now. But when I saw like, if I saw it, I probably saw maybe Kid Capri. Remember back in the Def Comedy Jam?
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
He would come out.
In the beginning.
Yeah, that's when I would see him actually do it, and I was like, he's doing the shit, with his hands.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew, oh, okay, these guys are fucking doing it with their hands.
And you actually had a perfect point because he had showmanship. So that taught you not just the DJ but showmanship because he knew how to control the crowd. Like he's like it's like, you got a guy coming up and say, all right, next person on stage, hey, you gotta give a shout out to, put your hands together, so and so. That's
Right.
like, oh my god, he did that with DJing. He rocked the fucking crowd. He brought everybody lives to it. So the next performer comes out, everybody's already hyped up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of DJ he is.
Yeah. One thing I remember about him is that he would go back and forth from turntable to turntable.
Yeah.
Like he would juggle them back and forth.
Yeah.
Like time for some action. Time. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
would
yeah.
go back and forth, and I would be like, oh my god.
And he
that
picked the perfect
I want to do
sample.
that shit.
He picked the perfect scratch
That
shit,
shit,
to
yeah,
like.
the Redman
he always
shit.
picked the spot like part of a song that could actually gravitate the crowd towards it. Like he had
Yeah.
words for every fucking mix. So like you're saying,
Yeah.
time for some action. Like oh shit, it's about time
Right.
for some action.
Yeah.
So he warmed up the crowd. So that was perfect to even talk
Yeah.
about.
Before that, I already knew I wanted to. Like, I was intrigued by it. I didn't know I wanted to do it, but I was intrigued by it just from hearing like you know what I'm saying. Like I told you, like Joe Cooley scratching and shit. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what do you think of the DJs that play with some of the more mainstream bands out there, like Lethal with Limp Bizkit, and then like the guy from Linkin Park and stuff like that? What do you think about that?
I think it's cool. A lot of people might talk shit, but to me, it's like pushing the boundaries of music, and that's what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And if it works, cool. If it doesn't work for you, then it's still cool. You know what I mean? Because that's what music is. It's all subjective anyway. Some people might think it's the shit. Some people might think it is shit. You know what I mean? And there's a difference between that, but whatever. It's all like, fuck it. Make some good music. Throw it out there. If there's a DJ that can match the group, fuck it. Throw that hip hop element into it and see what happens if you incorporate that with it. And if it works, it works. Some groups made a dope whole thing about it. You know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of albums that are dope with a DJ included, like Limp Bizkit and
Incubus.
What,
right.
Incubus. What did you think about that when you being an experienced DJ as long as you have been, and like having like real fucking grassroots style and method? What did you think about when
I heard that
all that started to converge? And
if they did it right, I was cool with it. As long as they did it right. Because I used to DJ, a lot of people don't know this, but I used to DJ for a group called Brotherhood. And they were a group out of like Fullerton area, you know what I mean? Like Orange County area. And it was my homeboy Cosmo and my homeboy Johnny. and a couple other heads. I can't remember all of their names, and my bad, but I remember one of them is James. And anyway, they were ill. They were dope. They had a dope sound, and they sounded kind of like Rage Against the Machine a little bit. I mean, not Rage Against. What am I thinking about? What are those other motherfuckers?
Like
Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
No way. System of a Down.
Right on.
But kind of like both of those guys, both of them put together, because it kind of sounded the same. But I used to cut for them, and I would do a bunch of shows. And it wasn't my thing, you know what I mean? That kind of music wasn't my thing. But I was cool with it because I was down to explore and just fuck it. Just try it. You know what I mean? I really didn't care, but it was dope. So when those guys would come out, as long as they did it right, I was cool with it. But if they sounded corny or whatever, and I was like, that shit was whack or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then again, that is only my opinion. Like I said, music is all subjective. So
Right on.
somebody in Australia might be, fuck, that's the shit. You know, I might get married to that song. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
somebody on street is like, you hear Lord Clika? Some fucking asshole was talking shit about, DJing with a new metal band. You believe that motherfucker? Grab a Foster's, listen to this shit. That's what they're fucking saying.
You know, it's funny, they don't drink Foster's out there.
Yeah.
They don't even know what it is. They're like, what was that? They're like, that's American shit.
It's Australian for beer.
It's actually American for beer. It's for sure to God.
Isn't it the same as Corona?
Because my brother's been there. And
Yeah,
that fool was like,
nobody
hey,
had
they don't like Foster's out there. They're like, fuck that.
Hey, Abel, dame una Corona. ¿Y qué puta es una pinche Corona, güey?
Ni que fueras una princesa, güey. ¿Cómo que una corona, cabrón? Está la verga, güey. Más fresa que princesa, güey.
They call that shit chorrona over there, bro.
Reina de mamar, güey, no mames. You could cut that out, right? You could edit that out. Go ahead.
Fuck
take that out.
no, we'll leave that shit.
Sorry,
in there, bro.
mother. Sorry.
Hi, mom.
But yes, back to the music. That's what we're saying. I don't even know what we were talking about. Because,
No, but how you feel about the that whole thing about groups
Oh,
incorporating a DJ?
I liked it, dude. Like I was saying, like as long as they did it tastefully and right, man, I like that shit. Cause I grew up on that shit. My cousin used to listen to like Scorpions and Led Zeppelin and Van Halen. Like when 1984 came out, or was it 19? It was 1984, right? Van Halen. Mm-hmm. It was 1984 when it came out, and I was fucking alive, and I remember that shit. And my cousin was like, "Yeah, this is the shit," and I was just like, "All right, yeah, hell yeah, this is the shit." And I remember fucking Jump, all that shit. That was the shit. Mm-hmm. And then when I grew up, I'm like, "All right, whatever, that shit's whack." It's all about hip hop shit, right? And then later, I started learning that hip hop shit was inspired by a lot of that shit. Yeah. So I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, all right, cousin, I'm gonna respect your shit." You know what I mean? And then I say shit a lot, huh? That's some shit.
That is some shit.
Saw shit, dude. Saw shit right here.
Nah, but anyway,
You talk about a shit.
Pura mierda, güey. Click, edit, delete, click.
Nah, but yeah. So I see what you mean though. That whole because remember that whole thing with Aerosmith. I mean, sorry. Yeah, Aerosmith and Run DMC.
And Run DMC.
Yeah, like that fucked everybody up.
Hell yeah.
And it's funny that they
shit
actually
mixed.
they remade a fucking rock song into rap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the song was already out. You're right.
Yeah, it was an old song already.
It wasn't
already
even
out.
it wasn't even like a sample. They just straight say, "Fuck it, we're gonna remake it."
Yup.
You know, so
And then
They
that
bum
fucked-
rushed the show. They were like, "We're gonna get inside that song. Hold on, make a spot for me." And just,
And
Yeah,
then the same
they went in
thing.
that shit.
The same thing happened with Public Enemy and Anthrax.
There you go.
Right.
Bring the noise.
That's right.
I remember that.
Noise. Yeah.
that's when it was all happening. That's the beginning of it.
yeah.
See, that's when it was done right.
But yeah, that
Not
was
saying
really
anything about the 2000s.
Did you
that,
guys, did
that
you
was
guys-
really the inception of that style. It just never
Yeah.
carried from there.
It was
you
a
know?
precursor.
Until
to
other
that.
people- yeah.
definitely. So
Yup, they recycled
fucking-
that whole style, and they were like, you know what? Let's do it like they did it. You know what I mean?
Rage
But with
is still
the
doing
DJ.
it with Cypress Hill.
There you go.
True.
you know,
Which I'm very
I don't
happy
know.
about. That's cool, man. Carry that
cool.
torch.
More
Hell
power.
yeah.
More power to them. I mean,
They also have like Powerflow.
Like-
Powerflow's doing it big. They're the members of Biohazard and Fear Factory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, go.
yeah. I don't. I have my own opinions about the whole. What is it? Prophets of Rage.
Yeah.
Prophets of Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a good album.
I'm not gonna
Not a good album at all.
be too opinionated. Because they're musicians and I love them for fucking being musicians. They're fucking awesome. But I don't know. In my opinion, I think sometimes there's just some things that shouldn't happen, you know? And
We had this argument about
That's one of them.
fucking Dave Matthews last week.
Man, fuck Dave Matthews, dog. That's not an argument, dog. That's a fact. That is a fact. Fuck.
What would you say? No, we were saying how they're all fucking badass musicians,
Yeah.
But they suck.
but their fucking songs suck dick.
They-
like hard dick. Like
I mean, I don't know,
Whose
dude.
fault is that, though, man?
Like, just
Whose
fucking-
fault is
This is
it?
hard dick.
they suck a dick like it's just coming down their throat, just smashing their fucking tonsils and their balls and in their chin.
damn.
Like that's how much of a dick they suck.
Hey, man, we're gonna have to edit
Hey,
all
what
this
was
shit
that
now,
thing
dog.
called? TMI? Sí, güey, esa madre.
You got fucking booger bubbles coming out of your
God
nose because you
damn.
can't breathe
Hey,
and shit.
El pinche TMZ.
I know. Fool. I don't want to imagine that shit. Fool. Too late. I already have.
Damn, that's never gonna leave your brain, man.
Valiendo pito doblado, güey.
Ay, güey.
Valiendo pito.
Pues qué vale un pito doblado. Vale verga, güey.
Keep going.
Anyway, we were talking about DJing and all of a sudden became about
Hey, what the
pitos
fuck
doblados and
happened?
shit. What happened?
Valiendo pito doblado. Siempre sigue inflado.
That's a jam right there, dog.
Ese vato está bien cagado. Porque no se lo han dado.
Está bien jalado. Su vieja bien respaldado. Las
Por
nalgas
dentro.
bien desinflado.
Por dentro, por fuera y por lado.
This guy's cool, hell yeah. That's what's up. Y ahí está la banda, güey, no mames, el vago.
Ándale, pinche rascatripa, güey.
El vago del norte.
This is freestyle ranchera.
That's it. Song ended.
All right, so
Back to the podcast.
I think somebody was annoyed.
Yeah. I don't know, dog.
What the fuck is happening?
Funny.
Should we get a fucking convince me dick challenge for you with banda music or what?
I listen to that shit, but I gotta be taking tequila shots, dog. And then I'm good. Then I'm good.
That's some drug music. That's some drug music right there, man. Okay.
all right, but yeah,
So what are we talking about?
Hey, all right. Hey, this
We're
is
talking about
This is
pitos
like-
inflados,
think
bro.
alike. What are we talking about?
what we're talking about. How I started
Even if we're
is,
questioning, we're still thinking alike.
he was
all
asking you what DJs inspired you, and I
Yeah.
think he was trying to have you say him.
Whoa.
And he,
damn.
hey, when you mentioned somebody else, I seen his face like, oh. Like, have you seen the episode of The Simpsons when Lisa's like, he's not my boyfriend to Ralph? And then Bart's be playing, and it's like, that's when his heart broke right there. He's like, that's the face I seen on Vago right there.
Hey, defiéndete, güey, no mames.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, nah. Yeah.
No, but yeah.
I'm hurt.
No, but yeah, but
me and this fool go way back, dude. Like,
How back?
Way
Okay.
back.
way back.
we-
Dude, elementary, Rogers.
Rogers.
7th
Yes,
grade.
7th grade.
Damn.
7th grade.
And this
Say
fool
wait.
was a skater. We were both starting into the whole hip hop realm.
Yeah.
I was in his third year of 7th grade.
Yeah. I flunked math. Three
Hey,
times.
did he look like a little bicycle kid when he was younger?
We all did.
I think we all did, fool.
I had a papador. I look like fucking Richie Valence's brother.
I had the little pompadour, the one that was like 3 inches, like 2 inches. It was just like, and the
Okay.
rest of it was just
Hell
short.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We had Aquanet.
I look like the
Hell
fat
yeah.
kid playing basketball that got
Fool,
killed by the
Aquanet
plane.
was on deck.
Hell
The
yeah.
Aquanet was on deck.
Fuck yeah,
All the
dude.
time. I was mad if Aquanet was on deck. I was like, "Hey, mom, there's no more, no hay spray." And my mom would be like, "Como que no hay spray? Yo también lo uso." And I'm like, "Damn, mom, you gotta go get some, some Aquanet." So anyway, she would get the pink one. That shit held like super hard.
Yeah,
dude.
the white
Esa
with the
madre
pink-
me fregó, wait. Now we got a ball spot
Yeah,
right there.
now
That's
I'm
why-
bald.
That's why I'm shaking my shit.
Hell yeah. That's why I'm bald too.
Hey, dude, so-
amen to that.
It's all good. I'm not blaming my mom's.
Yeah, that's what we
I'm
were
blaming
hats.
Aquanet.
Yeah, we
You know
wore
what I'm
hats for that reason.
Hell yeah.
Do they still make Aquanet?
Yes, they do.
They
Really?
should, fool.
What? Buy that
should.
shit.
You can find that shit at the 99 cent store now.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
In some hood ass
It's called
CVS.
Aquaneta.
Aquaneta, güey?
Aguaneta.
La mera neta, way.
It's called Aguaneta, güey.
Aguas, neta, güey.
Oh, mames, güey.
Oh shit! But
Hey, wait,
yeah.
did we all get high, fool? I got
I got a contact.
Everybody got contact.
I got contact, bro.
Te digo, esa madre estaba buena. Hey, shout out to homegirl that hooked me up with the fucking freebie, you know what I'm saying, with the joint. That shit was not shake.
I know.
That
You know
shit-
how
that
you
shit
know
was
it's good because Chris is quiet.
No.
Yeah.
Quiet. This motherfucker's quiet. This motherfucker's like, look at his eyes.
I'm just enjoying.
I can barely look at his eyes. Open your eyes.
Hold on.
What
Yeah.
eyes? I thought those were red rubies. What are those? Aye.
So yeah, you know, like you were saying about that whole thing with the metal, with the rap and all that shit. Remember when people really were tripping out? Were you one of them, or did you like?
I've been tripping, dog.
Right. People, I mean,
I was
me,
born
actually,
tripping
I
out.
liked it. I kind of liked it.
They
First,
gave
I
me
tripped
drugs
out,
when
and
they
then,
came out
and then I was like,
Oh,
holy
no.
shit, this is crazy. And then I started seeing more bands doing that shit. You notice? Mm-hmm. Like more bands started getting to that fucking whole
Yeah.
rap rock shit. What do you-
I did it, like I said. Brotherhood.
Remember, it
Those
was
fools-
like
those
it
fools
was
kinda
dope,
rock.
man.
Those were-
It actually
They were
actually
slow
evolved.
rock, but they were hard. They would like have hip hop.
My question is, are
they
people
was
still-
singing rock shit?
My question is, are people still doing that right now to this day? Like, do you have any modern bands?
I
that are
don't
doing
really
that?
see too many people doing it. If they're doing it, they're not doing it right because I'm not hearing it. So I don't know.
I think, you know what? There's a couple bands out there that did do it really, really well. And I still listen to some of their shit. And I'm talking about, like, the Deftones.
Okay.
Like-
I seen them live. They're
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, the fucking Deftones. And when...
I think it was at a smokeout sometime.
Yeah, I think they did play Smoke Out. Dude, they were... I don't know, man. When they came when they came out with the Pony album, that song "Back to School," that shit was fucking tight, man. You know, that was original. I mean, the whole fucking rapping with the fucking screaming and the guitars, you know, and he's just fucking rapping, but it's fucking wretched, dude. You know,
Yeah.
I think they perfected it like in a real, like they made it their own, that entire style.
See, I like
to
that
fit
shit.
their music. You know,
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not-
If they do
it's-
it right and
yeah.
they put their own flavor to it and it sounds good, fuck it.
And you know, Chino Moreno, like I say the Deftones specifically because you know how it is. You haven't listened for a band for a while, and then all of a sudden you start listening to them, but now you're older. You have a different ear.
Yeah.
And then you notice that you're paying more attention. But you know, you start listening to things with a more experienced ear, you know. So when I started listening to that shit, I don't know, it kind of, even though I heard it years before, but now that I'm older, mature, and it just took me somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's fucking cool shit when a band can take that type of style and say, you know what, we're gonna do it different. We're gonna make it our own, and it's gonna just be different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. But you come that way.
Hey, this nigga's making you look like a puppy dog. The little fucking ears.
Hey, don't put that girl shit filter on me, homie. Don't put that girl shit.
Nah,
I swear.
the girl one's on
We have to square
Snapchat.
up. I'm sorry, I love you, bro, but don't put that girl shit.
That one's on Snapchat.
I'm just
dog.
playing.
No,
Oh yeah, I seen fools doing that shit. Hey, dude, I don't know.
I would not ever do that.
No comment, homie.
You already did, dog. I
No,
got you.
Oh,
Hey, that's
oh,
dope.
damn.
Fuck it, you know what? Put it
Snapchat?
out
I don't
there.
even have Snapchat, man. so-
No, but I fucking.
I don't have Snapchat
Oh,
either,
shit.
dude.
I never understood.
Hey,
What
I
was
had
the
a
whole
Snapchat.
point?
I hit Bago.
And then
But
I
what's the whole
snapped that.
point about the fucking like dog? Why the fuck would a girl want to look like a dog? I never understood
Nah,
that shit on Snapchat, dude.
Then
do
they get
that
mad
shit.
when we call them bitches. But they all have that dog fucking filter. I
Yeah,
don't
then
know
why
what
the fuck would they put a dog on
Don't
that
say
shit,
it,
dude? And then they make you take your tongue out and shit. Like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know.
They want to be cute, dog.
Nah, I'm good.
So nobody's asked a question yet. The motherfuckers aren't asking.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
let's see. Is
I'm
there any
looking, I'm
questions?
looking, hold
Let me
on.
see. Hold on, dude. Hold on.
Why are DJs always late?
They're musicians.
There you go.
Come on.
We're always
How
late.
many
What?
fucking musicians
Oh,
are always
we're
on
the wait.
time? I never met a musician that was on
This is
time.
the end of the video. You little pitiful. You better not be looking at me stupid, dick.
He looks like he's going, "Hey, fool! Don't record me right now."
Well, Dick, you're killing my vibe. You know, I'm trying to have a conversation with this fucking
That's that remix.
badass
fool.
DJ
Dick,
and
don't
shit.
kill my vibe. Dick, don't kill my
Yeah.
vibe.
Don't kill my vibe.
Not in the snow, cabrón.
Like, you never know. You might get the sporadic bamba right now, dog.
I know. Me está pegando calentura, güey.
Soy yo.
Other than all your numerous, what other groups have? I know you mentioned the other group you were in. Any other groups that you DJed for, man?
A lot, fool. Like, probably since in the early '90s, I started DJing for a group called REAL. They were called Rebels Educated at Large, and they were at a Project Blowed.
Ooh, nice.
Real?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. They were called Real, and I did a show with them in '97 at Project Blowed.
Nice.
What does it
That
stand
shit
for
was dope.
again?
Rebels Educated at Large.
Okay.
Real. And it was cool. It was
How
cool.
long did you DJ for?
A couple of years, like maybe I'd say like 4 years or something like that. I mean, I kept DJing for them on and off when they would come back around because they moved out to Arizona or something like that. And but it was cool to learn from all the shows that we did. You know what I mean? To learn, and we recorded stuff, and just to learn how to record it and all that. What would sound good on songs? Sometimes it was too much scratching. Sometimes it wasn't enough. And it was cool to learn how much was enough and how much wasn't. You know what I mean? Just get the experience.
Did that trip you out how you guys went into a studio with your turntables? Like, did it make you feel weird because you're seriously a musician at that moment, right? You're called up to actually bring your equipment and be composed and produced to say, scratch at this time.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Isn't it weird? Isn't it crazy?
You know what made me feel the craziest? When I did scratches for American Dad show. You know that show, American Dad?
The fuck?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
See, wait, I did like 3 different scratches for those fools. And I went to the studio, and these fools, I thought I was gonna roll up, like anything, roll up with my shit, and they would play me something. Okay, this is what you want. You want when you scratch over it, and then I would scratch over it. No, I showed up, set my shit up, and there was a bunch of fools already set up, like drums. The guitarist was over here on the right. The fucking the violinists were all over there. The cellos, everything. Everybody was set up, and these fools were like, 1, 2, 3. They would run through it. Okay. Let's go record right away. These fools were all professional as fuck.
You're like, what am I doing here, dog?
It was dope. Swear to God, I was right there. And then you know the funny shit? You know the music sheet? They had one for me and it said DJ guy.
What the
It was the funniest shit.
And it was blank.
DJ guy.
That's your new name.
Yeah, because there was no way.
how did they
there was no
compose you,
notes.
though?
There was no notes. They just had X's.
So how did they compose you when
They were like, all right, look, this is how many bars you're going to scratch. And that's it.
What?
It was crazy.
What
and
kind
I
of
had
music? What kind of music was it?
It was, if you want to look it up, you find it. It's one of them is called Finances with Wolves. That's the one where the dude's, I think he's running around in a parking lot. He's driving around a parking lot, and that's me scratching in the background.
What?
Yeah, wait. And there's another one called Stan Knows Best. I think that's the one. Or Stan something. I think it's Stan Knows Best. It's on the first season. And that's the one. Her daughter, the Haley or whatever, she becomes a stripper. Yeah, see, she becomes a stripper, and that's me scratching in the strip club in the background.
How did that come about? How'd you get that gig?
Okay,
Man? How'd you get that gig? Yeah.
It was crazy, fool. I know it's crazy. My homeboy Presto, not Presto one from Vegas, but Presto.
Like your shirt.
Shout out to homie. No. This is Presto one from Vegas.
Oh, okay.
My homie Presto from Concrete Grooves. I had a homie.
Shit, I remember.
Who was it? My friend David Rolas. That's what hooked me up. He was like, yo, this is my boy Presto, and my Presto hit me up because somebody hit him up and was like, we need you to do scratches. And he was like, I don't do that stuff, but I know somebody that does. And he hooked me up with it. And then I just called them up, and they were like, yeah, come through or whatever. And I went through, and they paid me good, fool. It was like $750 for 3 hours. Yeah, because I had like turntables, and it was like a specific instrument or some rare shit or something like that.
Ain't that doesn't that trip you out, man? Like nowadays,
It does, fool.
Like when you really think about it, you got like this symphony orchestra and the shit, and all of a sudden they call a DJ.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how that works. Do they, like, you know how characters, like on shows, every time they air the episode, they get a certain amount of royalties. Does it happen with you guys?
No,
music?
because
Or
they're
it's just
studio
one time?
musicians. Yeah.
Okay.
You just get a flat rate for
Okay.
what you did. Valiendo.
They just
that's
buy
it.
your shit
Yeah.
off. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
The
No
different contract.
royalties for it whatsoever. I was
Yeah.
thinking the same thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna get rich off this shit.
You're
Hell
gonna
yeah.
ASCAP.
And they were like, no, fool, here's your money.
Get the fuck out.
I'm on the way.
You're like, first let me hit
You
the
know?
fucking catering table, dog.
I'm imagine that feeling though, man. When you're in the fucking studio, isn't that fuck you up? Like, what the fuck? I'm here fucking with a symphony orchestra.
Hey, it did, man, and I did it like 2-3 times. And the second time I went, the guitarist remembered me and the drummer remembered me and everybody like they were like, oh yeah, it's a DJ guy. And the guitarist I remember he's a white dude, older guy. These motherfuckers are fucking good, bro. Like when they tell them, they just like, this is the music. They read it, okay. They go through it in 10 seconds and then they record right away. And these motherfuckers are on point. So it was just, it put me up to a test kind of thing. It was like, okay, you got to step up to the plate because these motherfuckers are professionals. So if you're getting paid like they are, you got to, you know what I mean? And
if you fuck up, they're going to know.
see, wait. No, fuck yeah, dude. Like when you see it, when you go online, it's on YouTube. You can look it up. Finances with Wolves, and the other one's called Stan Knows Best. And just look up American Dad and it'll come out.
Season 1, right?
See, it was season 1. And I think I did one on season 2, but I can't remember what it's called, and I never fucking found it, so whatever. Valió.
That's the truth. I didn't know about that shit. That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking
yeah.
crazy, man.
I don't brag a lot, you know what I mean? I just do shit, and then it goes out, and, you know, it is what it is.
You're very quiet.
I'm surprised they didn't have you do some shit for that Kevin Federline character.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I
'Cause
fucked
he's like
up.
the
I stopped
rapper
paying
for-
my dues. I stopped paying my dues because I was in it was called Local 47, the union.
Yeah,
and it's the same union that Quincy Jones is in.
Oh,
like all these
shit.
dude, it was like ill shit. But I didn't know at the time what I was dealing with. I should have fucking kept more, you know what I mean? Like
I got
more
Quincy
careful.
Jones'
So
number, dude. I'll call him.
That's a good. That's a cool little fucking advice for all the DJs out there. If you get an opportunity, don't fuck it up. Pay your fucking dues.
Don't bust a Mino.
Hey,
Yeah,
he's got
don't bust a Mino. I would
got-
have been scratching you for all the fucking TV shit right now. But
He's got Quincy Jones' number. Hey, Quincy, remember me? He goes, yeah, motherfucker, you didn't cut my lawn too well the other day.
Oh shit, my bad. You look like homeboy.
Yeah, motherfucker, fucking my grass.
But yeah, man.
That's fucking crazy.
But yeah,
dude.
that was fun though. That was a good experience, and I just felt like privileged. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
felt honored to
Oh,
be
hell yeah.
a part of that
Anybody
shit. These
would.
motherfuckers were bad, dude. No joke.
That's cool.
Respect to all studio musicians. Those motherfuckers are better than anybody you see live. I
Yeah.
swear to God. These fools are sick. These fools are clean, on point. They know their shit. And they made me step my game up. And it was dope. I loved it.
I think it's awesome when you have that experience, that type of humbling experience, you know, because it's easy to get into your groove, and then you got this fucking like what do they call it, tunnel vision and shit, and then bam, you're put in a setting where you're exposed to that, and you're like, yeah, there is somebody bigger and badder out there, and I need to learn more, and this is just.
Yeah.
You know, setting you straight rather than setting you back, you know?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's something my oldest brother told me one time. Cause back in the day we were really into skateboarding, and me and my brother we were pretty good. You know what I mean? We were doing contests and all that stuff, and me and my brother were pretty much better than anybody that we usually seen on the street down in Lawndale, like local cats. Until we met homeboy, like a couple of homeboys, like my homie Day One and Milton and whatnot, Eric Ricks and whatnot. But we were pretty good, and I remember my brother would tell me, my oldest brother Ariel, he would be like, no matter what, don't get too big-headed because there's always somebody better. Always. He's like, no matter what, how good you think you are, someone else is going to be born and get, you know what I mean, be better than you. Somehow, some way, someone's going to come up and rise up better than you. So don't get too big-headed. He always told me that. And that always played a big part in my head, you know what I mean? So big ups to my brother Ariel. He's out in Nogales, Mexico, and he's doing his thing. And
that makes a lot of sense.
And you know, that's the fucking best advice you could ever get.
It was good advice, man. It was good
when
advice.
and especially when you're a worker.
Yeah.
When you're a worker and you have talent, and in talent in anything, sports, music, fucking painting, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have that mentality, like, you know what, dude, I ain't the shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good.
I'm doing
but
my thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
good,
doing my
but you
thing.
know what? There's
But-
somebody out there that is a shit,
Exactly.
and I want to strive to be like that. You
Always
know?
be, man. Always be like, I could always get better. There's
Good
always
advice.
room for improvement.
Yeah, we forget that shit sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
it's good shit.
I want to cry. No. Tigway. Any questions? Anyone? Questions? Anyone? 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 Anyone?
We're gonna take a little break. We'll be back.
Word up. Hell yeah. Because I have to piss.
Me too, bro. Go, fool.
So what? No, it's on now.
That's on.
It's recording.
No, but seriously, how the fuck can we call him? How can we have him on? Let's see. Let's put it straight up like this.
Yeah, just put it straight like that on speaker.
All right, dude, I'm gonna call him right now.
So we're gonna call our fearless leader, Rick.
Rick. It's on. It's going. I mean, I don't think we should bother him right now. I think he has a graveyard shift tonight.
Dude. He said
He said to call him. He said to call him.
Oh, yeah?
He's working at the graveyard?
He's working the graveyard.
Yeah, he's digging up bodies.
Yeah, motherfuckers exhuming shit. You know?
Hey, that tomb looks a little funny over there.
Hey, he's in.
Somebody's
Sometimes
tampering.
dead.
What's up, Rick?
What's up, fuckers?
¡Órale!
What's up?
Sí, puro pedo, güey.
Hey, you're clipping.
God damn.
He's in the red zone, dog. Hey, are you working right now? Are you working, Rick?
Yeah. I'm
Ándale.
working now.
Hey, that's cool, fool. You're doing two things at once and you're getting paid for one of them. There you go.
Exactly, man.
Es todo.
And then,
Hey, saludos, güey. We're right here just, you know.
Te mandan saludos, mis huevos peludos.
Ingas.
I'm gonna get my cup of coffee, so fucking toast. Cheers, cabrones.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, bro. Cheers right here.
Yeah, with La
bro.
Clika Podcast.
I've been
Clika
fucking
Podcast.
that fucking espresso for fucking 6 hours now, dude.
Wow.
Damn.
That's a long espresso right there.
I had one earlier and goddamn, I'm still on it probably.
Are you with Sir Otto? Are you drinking your
My good
espresso
man,
with
Sir Otto present.
Otto. We were all searching for Sir Otto. We've not found him.
This young chap here
Hey,
keeps
Rick.
going on and on about Sir
We're having
Otto.
a good one, fool.
Oh, shit.
Sir Otto has left the
Hey, wait.
building.
That means Chris is out there?
yeah, I'm here. Damn.
Damn.
Hey, yeah, that was it.
He's having a bad one.
So do you got a question for a DJ, Rick?
Hey, what you got? What kind of question you got for DJ Mino, man?
Let's see. Do you prefer vinyl or straight up Serato?
Oh, we already asked him that
I
one.
prefer vinyl.
Alright. Blonde or brunette?
What?
Give him the top 10 questions.
Blonde or brunette?
Yep.
Brunette.
Alright, good man.
Hey, Dick. Hey, how do you prefer your ladies? Sleazy, athletic, demure.
What the fuck?
Come on, dude.
It's Total Recall, dude.
Yeah, Total Recall, dude.
Oh,
Total Rico.
Hey, yo, Rick.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Hey, yo, Rick.
Hey, so, Mino, you're fucking
Yo.
teaching at Guitar Center now?
Oh, yeah, man. I started doing teaching there. I'm teaching drums, DJing, and production as well.
Hell
Right
yeah,
now.
dude.
All right. Well, I don't know. Rick right here can barely hear us, but it sounds like you're in a bad place. So maybe we'll call you back another time. But I'll leave you off on this one. Hey, what do you call something that hangs down and has a little dick?
Hangs down and little dick?
Yeah,
I don't know, what is it?
a bat. What do you call something that has a big dick and hangs up?
What?
Alright. I just hung up on Rick.
Pobrecito el Rick.
That was good. That was good.
Hey, my bad, but the connection wasn't that
Le
good.
dieron
but-
a la madre,
Sorry, Rick,
pobre
but
Oh my
your
God,
connection
dude.
set yourself up for that one.
Rest in peace, Rick. We loved you on the podcast. It was great, man.
Hey, all y'all listeners
Chris,
gonna be doing that
yeah,
shit now.
Yeah, Rick,
Big dick and hangs up.
Rick was a good guy, that guy.
Oh,
Rick
wow.
Rick was a good guy, that guy.
Hey, he's gonna call back right now. Hey, dog, I think you lost some reception or something. don't you?
So what is it? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
You just keep
Hello?
Damn.
All right.
So that was our producer, Rick.
Yeah, that was the producer Rick right there. He's hard at work and making them dollars to keep this fucking podcast going.
Shout out to Rick.
Shout out to Rick, Big Rick right there.
Sorry.
Damn, dog.
That was his shout out to Rick.
Hey, you don't have tonsils either?
Inside joke.
Yeah. Inside joke.
It's super inside, yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
All right.
So nobody had a question all fucking night? Seriously?
Hey, they asked
I
about
guess everybody knows everything.
Okay,
there is
so
to
No, they asked
know
about the beer.
DJs.
Remember? It's a
Beto-
40 ounce.
Oh yeah.
Beto Carvajal, Beto Carvajal asked Beto Carvajal asked, "What favorite 40 do you drink, or do you
It
like
would have to be Old English.
Old English?"
Yeah.
All right, let's keep.
It has to
keep
be
going.
super cold.
Keep
too.
it going
So
around.
drink Old-
Really
OE?
cold. Really cold.
All right, what
Super cold.
about you, Chris?
What about me? What?
What's your favorite 40 to drink?
I don't drink 40s.
Damn, high class.
He just
Shit.
drinks 40 beers.
Yeah.
And gets
All right,
out
I
the-
think for me, I like High Life, dog. Gotta keep it old school, dog.
I mean, I gotta say oldie also.
Old D, damn, you fools want to get pissed drunk, huh?
Fuck yeah.
Pues pa' qué, güey? You know, that's the whole fucking point, right?
You might as well see some fucking Hurricane, those fucking Bud Ice,
What is a OD 40 go for?
like fucking $50.
Probably, no.
I haven't drank
no,
honestly,
it's been
I
a
haven't
while.
drank an OE40 in a good
Hey, those
minute.
shits are nasty though,
Yeah,
dog.
but
Yeah.
they fuck you
But
up.
if you say what's my favorite, I'm gonna have to say that one because that's
Hey.
the only one I know how to drink. The other ones, I'm like,
Hey, you'd have to pay
got
me
me.
to drink that shit. I would not buy an old D, dog. Those shits are disgusting, dog.
My-
fuck you up,
dude.
though. You wanna get fucked up? That's what
Or a Mickey's, dog.
Mine is a Tecate 40
They
ouncer.
have 40s?
Yeah, well, in Mexicali and shit.
Oh hell, that's what. Oh
Yeah.
dude, no, they
Wait,
call
I thought it was a
Caguamas.
32.
No, no, no,
It's a
no.
32,
The
dog.
Caguamas
Caguamas.
are 32s.
They call them Caguamas.
Yeah, they're
They're
Caguamas.
32s, though.
Is that what they are?
There's
Oh,
ballenas,
32.
caguamas.
The one you're
They're
talking
all
about?
32.
The one you're
Caguama.
talking about is
You know,
the
they
Corona
They don't know what 40 is in Mexico. They're like, 40?
It's the Corona familiar.
You know they call Mexicali?
It's,
La
that's the
Ciudad-
bigger one, yeah.
Familiar,
The
yeah.
new
La
one,
Ciudad
the
de los
brown one.
Huevos
Yeah, you're right.
Fríos.
La Ciudad de los Huevos
Yeah,
Fríos.
Mexicali's called La Ciudad de los Huevos Fríos because everybody rolls in their fucking with their fucking caguama on their balls while they're
La
driving.
cachanilla, güey. No mames, güey.
I'm serious. It's so fucking hot over there, man, that you have to always be drinking something cold.
It is pretty hot out there, dude. My sister lives out there. I have a nephew that lives out there.
Dude,
It's
I'm
hot
from
as shit.
Mexicali, and goddamn, when I go visit, I only visit. You don't go visit between May and September, dude. Because if you go there, it's fucking 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Man.
Damn, that's Afghanistan. shit,
Seriously,
dog.
people just
Yeah,
be
bro.
chilling inside their pads. They don't even come out.
Yeah, you don't. You shower and you come out sweating.
No, they just be kicking it with the fucking ice.
Hey.
Hey Joe, what was the name of that?
So was it a movie or what?
Yeah, it was a movie. Charlie Sheen. He went. He was a cable guy, and then he went to Mexico, and then he found that the aliens were fucking. Do you remember that movie? He was a cable guy, but he was like
The Arrival, right?
The Arrival.
The
was
Arrival.
The Arrival. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
When they talk about Mexicali, I think of that town. That's all I'm saying.
Hot, fool. It's fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot. You guys have not experienced hot weather.
Let me get the cup already.
Hey, fool. Hey, I was looking at you. I thought you were thinking like that's hot, like that's cool, like you know what I mean. Like, I was not thinking that you were thinking it's fucking hot.
It's
Like the
fucking
weather's
hot.
hot.
It's
You were
hot.
like, hey, what you said right now was fucking hot. And I started laughing. I'm like, this fool's fucking with him. And I'm like, oh no, he's talking about the temperature. All right, my
Yeah,
bad.
dude. Have you
No,
ever
I'm
stood
like-
next to a fucking like a oven? You know, like you ever open up your oven and like
I don't have
you
an
got-
oven. No.
No.
Wait.
And like when you open your oven,
I use
it's
a
like,
toaster.
God damn, that's how hot it is over there, man. You cannot when it's like
No, it's
around
hot as shit. No, for real.
August.
Scorching hot, dry hot.
May, August, man.
And it gets
you do
fucking
not-
humid too, dog.
Oh, fuck
It's
yeah.
humid.
It's like it's just hot. You
remember-
come out of your house like, God damn, go back in. If you don't have an AC, you're gonna die.
I went to
Yeah.
fucking Calexico,
die.
dog.
Straight up.
I went to Calexico one time. That's right fucking there, dog. And I remember we came out of the fucking hotel. It's like somebody just fucking bitch slapped you with fucking heat and
Yes.
fucking humidity, dog. You're like,
Yes.
fuck.
It is hot.
And dude, you can smell the asphalt of the fucking ground because it's just fucking boiling that
Yeah,
shit.
you could
dog.
cook a fucking egg on
You
your
can
car.
smell the ass.
Hey,
Yeah.
I went to the mall there to go to fucking Lay, you know, the market and shit.
Lay.
La ley.
La
To
ley.
Lay, and fucking, I'm like, you know, there's a Chinese food place there, right? So I go up to the Chinese guy in Mexicali, who's, you know, the cash register guy, right? And you know, he just saw me at the counter and he like nodded, like, what do you want? You know, nodded. He didn't say anything to me. And I said, let me have a combination A with this and with that. And dude, Chinese guy goes, ¿Qué?
No, there's no Spanish.
I'm like,
clearly.
I go, you speak Spanish?
That's
She
a
goes,
trip,
¿qué? I go,
clearly.
¿hablas español? Sí. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you got the
They're
best
like all
fucking
second
Chinese.
generation
Yeah,
there,
dude.
Wow.
Fucking
Yeah.
Chinese guy spoke Spanish.
Yeah,
dude.
Gracias.
No, gracias. Bro. No,
like, dude, like better than some people that
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That fucking
No,
were
yeah.
born over there and
Yeah,
shit.
they got the best fucking Mexican,
Crazy.
the best fucking Chinese food in
Yeah,
Mexicali,
dude.
man. They live there.
It's
Actually,
fucking
that's
crazy.
all they do there.
I
They-
like the fact that comida china out there is really comida
It's
china.
fucking
You know
China.
what I'm saying? The motherfuckers are really
Yeah,
China.
you go in a Chinese restaurant, there's Chinese people working
Yeah.
there.
And then you come out here and they're all Mexican and shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
The fuck?
exactly.
You're like, hey,
It's
don't
like-
I know you? I went to school with you.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be chopping this shit up.
Yeah, that's orange
You're
chicken.
making
yeah, hi,
tacos and shit.
Hi, what you want? Wonton, please. Yeah, wonton. ¿Qué? Que quiere un pinche tan, güey. Un pinche tan, güey. Dile a Juan que quiere un tan, güey.
Yeah.
You know?
First thing I do when I go to Mexicali is go to fucking get some tacos. But while I'm there and then during the day, I go to Chinese food, dude. They got the best fucking Chinese food in Mexicali.
Oh,
No
First thing I
shit.
do when I go to Mexicali is go to the shade.
Yeah, no, it's hot. This you never experienced. Like you can go to Afghanistan maybe to get that.
Like, how many
close to
months
you.
out of the year is hot like that down there?
Like 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like right
But it's
now, it's
really
starting to get
stupid
hot.
hot.
Like I called my dad the other day, and he's like, "It's starting to get hot." So it was like March, May.
Oh, your dad
June.
lives in Mexicali?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's Chinese.
And he's a good cook, yeah?
That was funny, dude. That was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna have to talk to him. Be like, "Dad, are you really?"
But he's completely fluent in Spanish.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Hijo,
Hey, dog.
no soy tu padre. Pues, ¿quién es? ¿Te acuerdas del pinche chino?
I gotta talk to my mom now, dude.
Hey.
She's gonna be like El Ho Chi Minh.
¿Te acuerdas el chino que venía a arreglarnos el pinche aire acondicionador, güey?
That's why I'm short. Maybe that's why I'm short.
Hey, you do have kind of Asian eyes, dog.
Hey, I do.
Damn, dog. It all makes sense now.
Esa es
You
otra
heard
historia.
it first on La Clika Podcast.
On La
Fucking
Clika
Bago is
Podcast.
Chinese, dog.
He's Bago
A
Kim.
brand new
He's
discovery.
Korean.
Kim?
Bago Chang.
He's Kim Jong Bago.
Kim Jong Bago.
Oh man! All right, man. Let me flip the script a little bit. I don't mean to like be rude about it, but we're here for DJ questions, right?
And nobody has one, so let's make up
No,
some.
no. I got one. Okay,
I made up a couple of myself, but go ahead.
Damn. All right.
So, what was the most memorable DJ experience you've ever had, man?
Most memorable DJ experience.
I think it was a takeover, no, dog?
That was a pretty good experience. But my most memorable, I probably had to say when I DJ for KRS-One. That was
Oh, that's a
that
man
was
right there.
pretty
dog.
fucking memorable. That shit
Shout out
was
to KRS-One.
amazing.
Speak on that, man.
It just got hooked up. I was dating a homegirl named Leanne. She was my girlfriend at the time, and she hooked up with some fool named Chris Ransom that used to go to the Lucille's where she worked at, and he was always working on music. And she was like, "What are you doing?" "I'm working on music," and she heard it. She was like, "My boyfriend does that shit," and so we linked up. And that fool was like, "You down to do a show with us?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." And we just rehearsed like once, and then he called me. He's like, "Hey, KRS doesn't have a DJ. Are you down to DJ for him?" I was like,
God damn.
what kind of question is that? Like, of course. And he's like, "All right, well, you have to have all this equipment and blah, 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 CD players, la verga, and all that shit." And I'm like, yeah, I'll get all that shit. Don't trip.
I know.
I borrowed that shit from Guitar Center. I had turntables, but I didn't have CD players, so I borrowed them from Guitar Center because I was working there. And I borrowed them, used that shit, boom. And yeah, man, it was at the Blue Cafe in Long Beach,
Nice.
2009.
Wait a minute.
That's
I was
fucking
there.
badass.
You were there.
I was there
Yep.
Then how do you remember that shit, Bago?
because
Hey, dog.
Dude.
I was there.
Yeah, you were
I
there.
was there. He threw out tennis balls that night, and I caught one of the tennis balls.
Oh,
And you were DJing, and I remember you had issues with your turntables.
No, with the CD player.
The CD player.
damn.
Because I didn't know how to use
All
it.
right, Vago's bringing facts. Okay, all right, you're good to go. You're good. You're good.
No.
No,
Throw that fucking
That's real
cowboy
shit.
out of here.
I have that shit on DVD. That shit is real shit.
So you have footage of it.
I have footage of it. It's DVD. I have it at home. And yeah, you're right, dude. I had problems with the CD players. Honestly, I didn't know how to fucking use them. I was like, CD players, fuck that shit. I'm all about vinyl. But when I had to do the show, they were like, you have to have CD players because he plays this shit off a CD.
You're like, God damn
and
it.
it wouldn't play from track to track. That's what he wanted, continuous play. So it would just keep going and keep going and keep going. So it would stop. Every time the track was over, it would stop, literally. The whole show would stop. And I didn't know how long the track was, so I had to literally stand right next to the CD player and wait till that bitch stopped and go right away. Like, soon as that shit stopped, pow, and hit that start button again to keep it going because I didn't know how to fucking keep it continuous. And that was the problem that night.
Did he talk shit? Like, was he like trying to
He
what
did.
the
I'm gonna
fuck?
be honest. He did kind of like look disappointed, like, hey, what the fuck, you know what I mean? And I looked at him and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to fucking use this shit. I'm a turntablist. I fuck with this shit. I use this shit just to be able to DJ for you, basically.
Damn.
I told him like that, and he was like, all right, well, try to figure it out. I'm like, all right, whatever. He just started rapping again, and I said, all right, well, I'm just gonna stand right here and wait till that shit stops and hit the start button, and I kept doing that, and in the middle of that, I was scratching over his shit, and then it was crazy. It was just back and forth kind of shit.
That's scary.
Last time,
That's fucking awesome, dude.
It was out of control. And then there was a part where he was like, and this you could look it up. It's on YouTube. It's where he walked up and he was like, you know what? Give me something with just the beat, no bass line, no nothing, no lyrics, just beat. And I was like thinking to myself, I don't have anything. All I have is vinyl with rapping all over it. And he's like, I just want a drum track. That's it. So I grabbed a record that I had that was a scratch record, and it had drum sounds on it, and I like the same way I scratched with you at the Clika Podcast shit. The same thing. I scratched it for his show. And,
Oh, wow.
And it's on YouTube. You can find it. You just look up my name and KRS-One, and it pops up.
The Blue Cafe in Long Beach.
Yep, Blue
So-
Cafe in Long Beach.
The last time I seen KRS,
And that
his
was like
son's
my
his DJ
illest
now,
moment.
right?
I have no clue.
I seen him at what was it? The Orange County, the observatory.
No
Dude,
shit.
$5 for the fucking show, dog.
Oh, wow.
And
Holy
he
shit.
closed down the fucking house, and the fucking manager kept coming up and saying, "You guys gotta stop already." And he's all like, "The fucking manager's saying that I
Called
need
his
to end
ass
this
out?
show now."
Damn.
He's like, "You know what? Turn that shit up." And his son was like fucking boom bumping it. He's like, "I don't give a fuck if I don't get paid as long as you guys are fucking happy." He's like, "You guys are going home with a good show." He kept fucking going, dog. And
He's
he-
a real motherfucker, dude.
He brought up all these people. He's like, "Where the b-boys at?" All these fuckers came up. They were fucking breakdancing and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was dope, dog.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
he's
fool-
a real motherfucker.
He's one of the
dude.
best fucking showmen I've ever
respect
seen.
that dude.
And best, like,
Straight up.
I've never seen somebody perform as good as him. He knows how to fucking throw
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah, he knows how to fucking keep that crowd
And he
going, dog.
freestyled along with this homegirl J. Ross Pirelli.
Oh, shit,
she's
J. Ross?
badass.
J.
Yeah,
Ross?
you know J. Ross.
Yeah, yeah.
They freestyled together.
Wow.
It's on that show where I'm cutting.
Oh,
like
that's
if
right.
you look it up
That's
on,
right.
on
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. I remember.
Well,
that.
now you remember.
I bought her
She's
CD.
bad,
I
fool.
bought her CD
She's
that night.
badass.
I have her
Bravo.
CD at home. That night I bought it. It was a
Respect.
pink one.
Yeah.
It was a pink.
Shout out
It was
to
a
J. Ross
pink.
Pirelli.
It was a pink cover.
Dope ass artist.
It's like a graffiti fucking J. Ross. Yeah, I remember that. God damn.
It's all stylish looking and shit.
Dude,
the way they wrote it.
I'll post it up.
So-
I'm gonna post that.
So
fucking
when
CD.
when you were DJing for him in that show, like you had to like on the spot fucking improvise with like a small window of like, okay, this is how long it's gonna take for me to press start and for the beat to start cycling to get to the point where he's still on point. So let me
tough,
scratch it for the exact amount of time that it's gonna take for the beat to start again, so that he lands, and keeps the tempo and lands on point. That's fucking awesome, dude. To
It
do
was
that on
insane.
the fucking spot,
It was hard, dude.
that's crazy shit, dude.
was
That's when you
hard.
know, like, you got that musical ear, you
I'm not
got
gonna
the
say it
rhythm,
was
the
a
tone.
perfect show, but it was really hard to do it because it was not like we had any kind of rehearsal. It was just like, hey, he doesn't have a DJ, can you fill in? I was the fill-in DJ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was honored to be on the same stage, and one thing that was dope, when he came in, the first thing he did, he just walked up to me and gave me dap. He shook my hand, and I respected that. I was like, God damn, this fool came up to the DJ and said, first, before he looked at anybody, he didn't look at the crowd at all. He just walked in from the side and just walked up to me and gave me dap, and then he addressed the crowd. And I was like,
That's respect.
holy fuck.
That's fucking respect.
That's fucking respect to the
Yeah,
DJ.
because I mean, you're the one fucking providing all
It
the
was
fucking
just
beats.
it was just an honor, dude, and I was blown away. And
That's
you
when
know
you-
everybody that was there, my homegirl Emmeline, she was there. Yo, respect. And Bago was there, yo.
Evelyn,
and my ex Leanne, you know, all y'all.
How did it-
and the homie Chris Ransom too. All those fools were a part of me being a part of that show. And you know who else performed there? Filiano.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a dope show, right? It was
a good
sick.
show.
It
It's
was
a very
sick.
intimate show too.
Yeah.
Small. It wasn't a big venue. It's a little cafe, and it's a small.
Long Beach, back
could
in the
like-
day.
you could
Rest
like
in
touch
peace. That
that
shit's
food.
not even around no more.
Did they have any kind of green room?
Nah, it was red.
It was red. No, but
No, wait.
like the reason,
they didn't.
the reason
I swear,
ask
he just
is
jumped
like,
in from the side of the
It's
stage.
a bar.
No,
It's straight
no,
out
no,
of bar.
but the reason I'm saying that is like, did you get an opportunity to chill with them beforehand?
No.
I was
Good
trying
question,
to
though.
find
Good
out.
question.
Like,
No,
did
good
you have any
question.
time to spend one-on-one
No,
time with KRS-One?
no, good question though. Yeah, not at all. He just came in. I'm telling you, he came from the side of the stage, which was like a door from the side of that like parking lot.
There's a little
kinda
patio.
thing.
There's a patio.
Yeah,
Hey, they
front.
probably have a green room, but they didn't tell your ass about it, dog.
probably. Who knows? All I know.
No, you know
Wait,
what? No.
I don't think that place had a green room.
No, it is. It's
It wasn't
a
like
patio.
that, like the House of Blues or anything
You
like that.
park
It wasn't
in the
like that.
patio, the
House of Blues
patio's in
in
front.
Hollywood is like that.
What they roll up in though?
No.
Dude, they didn't. I don't know. I was already on stage, and dude just came in from the side door from where the patio was.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
You
And
parked.
he came in, and we just did the show. It was crazy.
Because I was in the
It was
patio.
crazy.
I
It was
seriously
all
was-
on the spot.
The way it is like it's seriously a bar, right? And then they have a patio, and you could chill there.
What's it
Yeah.
called again?
The Blue Cafe.
It's in
All
Long
right,
Beach.
the Blue Cafe. Anybody who's listening to Bago's little rendition or his mapping, you can look up the bar and you know you can. see
It's
it for
not there
yourself.
anymore, but it was there. You'll
it's
still
like-
find
it's
shit
like-
about
It's in
it.
downtown Long Beach. So
Yeah.
like seriously, you go up.
It was.
And there's like a little patio in the front, and there's two doors. You go in through the side, and then you're in the bar.
Yeah.
You turn to your right, and there's a stage.
Yeah.
And then it's seriously a bar.
Yeah.
So the way he's talking about it is that he had no time to actually go backstage and no.
Meet
Nah.
and greet.
He
No.
come.
None of
I was at the patio and I seen him just
The
walking
only
up.
thing I got to do was just shake his hand and
Yeah.
that's it.
Damn,
He went
that's
in
it.
there, performed, and
And
bounced.
tell him, hey, I don't know how to use the fucking CD player.
And he walked in, performed through the craziest fucking show, and then he just bounced.
Yeah.
He shook hands to everybody, sign your shit, bounce.
And
He
he
threw,
bounced.
and he's famous for throwing out
Tennis balls.
tennis balls. What he
Signed
does is
and
he
shit.
just has a bunch of
Signs 'em.
fucking. He has a box of tennis balls
Yeah.
and he puts KRS. That's all, and he just throws them out in the crowd while he's performing. And I was happy, to actually catch a couple.
Is
of
that why you have a dent on your forehead?
Yeah, right here. Look, right here. Big
The
old K
tennis
right
ball?
here. Yeah.
This
Big
is
old K
KRS,
right
what's
here.
his
Yeah,
name?
KRS. And that dude, it was crazy because he actually, when the thing about it I respect about him is that he actually is very humble, throws a show,
Yeah.
comes home, comes out to the crowd, shakes everybody's hand, and he goes up on stage and he still does it. And that motherfucker was like right here in front of me.
He controls the crowd, dude.
Dude,
he
like,
controls that shit.
When I seen him over
He's so good at that
at
shit.
the observatory, people took their vinyls, and he gave everybody. He's like, all right, I'm gonna take a minute to sign your all shit.
Damn.
And that's when
See?
he called on the b-boys
Fuck
for
yeah.
everybody to break dance. People were break dancing
While he
and
was
shit,
signing?
and he was just grabbing everybody's vinyls and signing them.
You see?
Fucking awesome.
He's humble as fuck.
Respect, dude.
Yeah.
That he's a god. Dog.
And I mean,
Straight
at
up.
that time, I was with this one girl. I don't want to say no names, but she's
No,
like
go ahead, say
the
it.
biggest fucking
Say it,
fan.
go ahead, say it.
Nah. So she's the biggest fan, and we were like right by the side barricade, right next to the stairs where it leads up to the stage at the observatory. And I was like, go up there and get something signed,
Yeah.
And she had her ticket stub. So I fucking threw her ass over the barricade, and she ran up there all fucking scared and shit, and walked up to that fool, and like that's her idol. And he fucking grabbed her shit, signed it for her, gave her a hug and everything. And I was like,
That's fucking
there you go,
crazy, dude.
like
That's tight.
yeah,
Damn,
he's badass, man.
he's a
Respect.
badass performer. Holy
Badass.
shit. That's
So yeah, man. Super
That's-
honored to do that shit. That shit
That's cool, man.
is one of the highlights, or if not the best highlight of my career.
and such an intimate spot, it's just small.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
You know what it
big-ass
was? It's
fucking
because it was
show.
all spontaneous. That's another
Yes,
thing.
Yes.
When he came up to me, he was like, play me something, you know what I mean? That's just a track, just a drum track. And I was like, fuck.
Hey.
And that's
I have
crazy
nothing.
for him to actually just trust.
And I started making the beat with my scratches.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
somebody
mean?
just to trust you like that,
Dude,
somebody
he
in that
asked me
caliber.
when I started doing it.
Yeah.
He literally asked me, "Can you keep that going?" And I'm like, "Yeah." While I'm doing it, I was like, and it was crazy how organic it was because I was practicing how to do, like the South Bronx beat. That one, I was always practicing that just because I like the beat so much.
Came in handy, right?
Exactly. This fool was like, put that shit just a beat, and I was like, God damn, I got nothing. I was like, fuck it, and I started doing a beat, and then I'm like, oh, it's fucking KRS-One. So I was like, I know how to do the South Bronx beat, so I was like, so when you look it up on YouTube, everybody out there, just look it up on YouTube. You know what I mean? Just put DJ Mino and then KRS-One or J. Ross Pirelli as well, and that shit will come out, and you'll see that shit is all live. It was spontaneous, and honestly, one of the dopest moments of my life, because it was where I was kind of put to a test.
Challenge.
It's paying dues. That was me in my life paying dues like nonstop. But that was documented and recorded with one of the illest artists that I know of hip hop.
Fuck yeah, man.
So
That's fucking
to
awesome,
me,
dude.
Yeah, that was like the Mecca.
Yeah,
Straight up.
I mean,
That's
he's
fucking
one of the
awesome.
fucking OGs and will always be. You know,
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Big time.
Right.
Boogie down.
he
A lot of
transcends
people
all
recognize that.
fucking time, everybody within hip hop. You know,
Yep.
KRS is one of
Kept
the
it
greats
real,
and will
for
always
real.
be.
Always, yeah.
Keeps
Yeah.
it real.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That
Hats off to you.
that's fucking, dude. Like, I'm just the way you're explaining it, dude. Like, I feel like if I'm there watching you like improvise and like say, all right, I gotta fix this motherfucker right now and make this shit happen, you know, because
Yeah.
all fucking eyes are on me.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
How fucking
You
nervous
can't
were you,
have
dog?
Yeah, dude.
It's
How
crazy that you
nervous
guys are
were you?
asking me that, because you can't show that you're nervous.
No, you're not.
So you're like, when he said that shit, I was just like, holy shit. In my mind, I was like, God damn, I don't have anything on me. All I have is just lyrics, music with lyrics on it. And it was before Serato, so it was all vinyl. And I'm like, God damn, what am I gonna do? And just your mind just works right away. Okay, improvise. You know, you could scratch and make the beat. Just do that shit and see what he says. And I started doing it, and he looked at me like,
Liked it, yeah.
can you keep it going? And I'm like, yeah. And I just kept going, and he was just like, all right. He started rapping, and then J. Ross Pirelli started rapping with it, and it was just crazy. He just kept going.
All right, did that teach you a life lesson? Like, now do you go out with something that has no lyrics over it? Did that
What do you
teach
mean?
you? Did that teach you to go out there with just beats, drum samples, and shit like that?
What it taught me was that when it comes down to it, like I could step up to the plate, and that to be confident about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're good at something and you're not confident about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Other people see it, but you don't see it. So it kind of taught me to believe in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you know what? Stop underestimating yourself. Stop, you know what I mean, dampening yourself. You got the skills. You know what I mean? Just believe in yourself and push forward. And I think that's what it did for me. And it was really dope.
And one
And,
thing about
just what you said, I think that's something that everybody should take into compass and believe in yourselves.
Exactly.
You, ha-
You asked me
you have
earlier.
to.
You got a
Like, you
dream,
asked
you
me
got something
earlier,
you're working
like-
at, fucking do that shit, dude.
And that's like one thing I do appreciate about you, man, is that you asked me earlier. Like, you guys all asked me why did we call you?
Right.
One thing I know about you is that you're very humble, dude. You don't brag about anything you fucking do, man. Like, you done so much shit, and you're not out there saying, I did this, I did that, I did that. It's like, you know what you do. And that's
It
what
goes back
matters.
to my brother, like when he told me,
Yeah.
you gotta be humble, no matter
Yeah.
what. Somebody's better than you.
That's Ariel, right?
Yeah, Ariel.
Yeah, because like I noticed that, dude. You got fucking skills,
memory.
dude. Like, Numerous is they should be very like happy to have a DJ like you. Because
appreciate that.
I know crazy fucking DJs out there, dude. They do so much good shit, and you're one of them. And you don't really like say I'm the best. You don't have to say it. When you know you're good, you don't have to tell people you're good. As any musician out there,
I just look at it like a
there's
contribution.
Any musician
That's how I
out
look
there
at
that
it, like,
you know what I'm saying, like any musician out there that is
it's
good,
my
they don't need to
contribution
say
to
it.
the genre, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure all of you know some badass fucking musicians, and they don't even need to say they're good.
I like the whole, just you see through like all that shit, just in how it is that you're explaining all your experiences, your trials and your errors, and the whole learning experience aspect of it. But how you explain it, that's kind of like how, like, me and Chris and being in bands together and stuff like that, and just with other musicians, and we always try to come across that way because we want people to understand, dude, it's a lot deeper, it's feeling, it's knowledge, and it's being able to put that out there, but just how you explain it and stuff like that, like you're speaking the language of music, with all these musicians here, and I think that's what we appreciate. Because
I'm glad I'm around musicians.
Dude.
Because you guys can understand what I'm talking about. You understand my passion,
Yeah.
What I mean?
And it doesn't have to be that, you're playing guitar in a band or you're playing fucking bass or drums or whatever. You're in a different element, but you do play instruments, and it's like, but you have a craft that you're very good at, and I just think it's awesome how you come across,
And going off of what you're saying is that a lot of people don't know
Respect,
this.
bro.
A lot of people don't know this, but this guy plays a piano. He's not just a DJ, guys. He actually plays a piano. I heard
play a piano, just one. I can't play the rest of them. It's really
he's a
hard.
badass fucking drummer. You're a drummer, Joe.
Hmm?
So you two could actually be on the same level as far as drumming. 'Cause he's a badass
Hey,
drummer.
bitch, I drum too, dog. What the
He's a
fuck?
drummer, but I'm saying like
There's a drum set right there if you guys want to have a drum off.
Yeah, like we're here.
Shit,
Yeah, we're here talking about like him
Ladies
as a
and
DJ,
gentlemen, the
but he has
drum
hidden
off.
talents, man. He has hidden talents. Like he's very humble about it. But he's a badass
I
drummer.
just like to fuck with anything that's interesting to
I've
me.
seen him play like some fucking Mozart before, dude. Like straight out, like what the fuck?
Oh, no, it's Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Hey, man, you don't know your shit, dog.
Hey man, I'm not a fucking piano player, but
I
this
don't know.
fool played some Beethoven.
I got into a weird mode one day, and I was like, I'm going to learn something.
I'm gonna learn.
And I went on YouTube, and I'm like, I want to learn Moonlight Sonata.
Yeah,
And
I know that.
It took me like 3 months to learn that shit.
Yeah,
And it's
a
only the
hard song.
beginning. It's only the beginning because the second part is
Dun,
insane.
dun, dun,
And then I
dun.
just fucking gave up after the second part because the second part is all fast. Like, that fool goes crazy. So I'm like, yeah.
I remember I walked into this.
But I did
pad,
learn the
yeah.
whole first part.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I walked into your pad one time. You straight fucked me up. Like, damn, this motherfucker knows how to play piano.
That's when I was learning it. Yeah,
was like,
that's when I
holy
was learning
shit.
it.
This fool's trying to say Bach is like,
It
nah,
was
dog.
fun, dude. Baka, I thought you meant baka.
What advice do you give to people out there, man, as far as DJing?
DJing, I would say, just do your thing. Play your genre. Play whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? If you want to go from hip hop to fucking EDM, fuck it. Do it right. You know what I mean? Like, do your own thing. I mean, I specialize in hip hop. But I'm gonna be honest, when I'm DJing a quinceañera, if they want to hear Caballo Dorado, fuck it, I'll play that bitch. I ain't too fucking proud to say it, dude. Fuck it, that's my raza. They love that shit.
Hell yeah.
They love it, and you know what? It works, and it makes the party happen, and it makes the people, live, and that's what I'm getting paid for.
You know
I'm
what?
not there to play what I like. I'm there to play, whatever is gonna make them move.
What do you think about that? Like, as far as like,
I was about to ask the same shit, dog. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think about Aoki? What do you think about
Yeah.
Skrillex? What do you think about all them motherfuckers? Like,
It
Thank
is
you,
what
man.
it
Thank you, man.
is.
Thank you for
That's
the
how I
little-
look at it. It is what it is.
Tiesto,
You know what I mean?
like all
These
these
guys,
motherfuckers.
they capitalize on the popularity aspect of it, I guess, and they make money off of
But
it.
it's all
You know
digital, right?
What? You know what? It's a show. The way I look at it, it's like the difference between UFC and the WWE. You know what I mean? WWE makes a shit fucking load of money. Like, they make a lot of money on their shit. UFC, they make their money too, but I mean, for fake shit, these fools from the WWE are making money, dude. They're raking it in. Little kids are stuck on that shit. That's like a drug.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you know what I mean? They're all about fucking Ronda Rousey and all that shit now.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? It's like all the mainstream music. They learned how to make it to where they could make some a shitload of money off of it with very little skill. Whatever, dude. They capitalize it. That's what the fucking country's about. But it's not what I'm about. But it is what it is. I mean,
So-
they're doing it, and hey, it's all good for them. It's cool for me. I don't give a shit.
So you're not about to toss cakes in people's face like Aoki?
You know what? I don't even eat cakes. So yeah.
You see how he does that
My
shit?
cousin bakes cakes. I swear to God, my cousin Fernando, he bakes cakes, and I don't even eat them. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And
So
I feel bad. I'm like, he's like, oh, you get all,
so you never
I don't
actually
eat cake.
like in your mind ever thought about like I want to be that super DJ? I know you're a humble cat, but
You know what?
did it ever
Back in the
enter your
day-
brain? Yeah.
Back in the day when I was DJing, like with, I was DJing in downtown LA, someplace called Soho, and like my name was building, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, yeah, DJ Mino's gonna be there," and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna kind of get big with this shit," and it was really moving. I started DJing with David Rolas and doing like my homeboy David Rolas was taking me on tours and shit, and I was going all over the place. But in the end, all of that, like, it was fun and all that, but I lost the whole kind of thing about being so big, about being like, oh, I want to be the best DJ or whatever, like, I want to be popular and all that. I just lost that, and I was more about teaching the kids that wanted to learn about it, because all of a sudden people were like, hey, can you teach me what you're doing? And I'm like, all right, yeah, come over. And then, you know what I mean, like, just
that's fucking badass.
all kinds of heads.
I fucking respect that.
And I just got into that. I'm like, you know
Wow.
what? I like this shit. I like the feeling of teaching this kid some shit. And now he's a better DJ. Like my homeboy Emerson, he's like a regular paisa DJ. You know what I mean? And he didn't know how to mix. And he came to me, and we started hanging out in my garage back when I lived on 156th in Hawthorne, and I started teaching him how to mix. And then he started DJing gigs, and he would come to me and be like, hey, dude, you know what? I did a gig, and all my homies were jocking because they were like, dude, you're killing it. Your mixing is amazing. What did you do? How did you do it? And he's like telling me that it was because of my influence and what I was teaching him. And that shit felt rewarding as fuck. I don't know what it was about it. It just felt rewarding as fuck.
You're like
I
the
was
catalyst
shit.
to all these guys. That
It felt really good. It was crazy. And then from there, I just kind of kept doing it. And anybody that ever wanted any questions or wanted to learn about a scratch or whatever, I would teach them whatever I learned, whatever I could.
All right. Since you've been in the game, and you know, in the past you've worked at Guitar Center, now you're teaching at Guitar Center. You know, you must know some shit about gear. What's your favorite gear to use?
My favorite gear as far as DJing would probably be Rain mixers. After that would be Pioneer. The Pioneer DJM S9. That shit is like the mecca of DJ mixers. To me, that's the shit. And then as far as turntables, Techniques. SL 1200s or 1210s, preferably. And that's it, really. I mean, there's other companies, Newmark and Stanton and all that, but I don't know. I kind of always been a Technique guy.
I mean, that's the OGs, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, ever since I fucked with them, when I got my turntables, when I first got my turntables, that was it. I was stuck. That was it. I was like, I can't back up. It's like when you get a good girlfriend, and then after that, you can't back up from that. You're like, you know what? I gotta get at least something at least as good or better than that.
You gotta one up it.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah,
because that
you always upgrade or at
bitch,
least be as
that bitch
good
cannot
as you were
see you as
before.
something downgraded.
Exactly.
Like,
No,
you
exactly.
know,
So
you gotta always come up with.
Ya sabes, güey. Pues I put it in perspective of the male species.
Yeah.
No, but real shit. Let me take a drink of this Modelo. Okay.
Dude, there you go. Taking a little Modelo break right here.
It was a Modelo time.
Salute to all you guys out here listening. It's Modelo time.
I'm about to drop out this
Hey,
roof right now.
what was up with that harmony you guys were doing earlier?
I don't know, fool. This guy's got skills too. This
Oh,
guy's
what
got
were
some
we doing?
vocals right
Hey, what
now.
harmony you guys doing?
I don't even know. It was some ranchera shit.
Enjoy the silence.
Yeah, there you go.
Ándale. Although that's not ranchera at all. That's some K-Rock
We'll
shit
get
from back in the day.
we'll fucking get ranchera.
But see, one thing that people don't know is that, actually, yeah, maybe the people do know this shit, but not only are you a DJ, but you're also a fucking lyricist, man. Where do where do you fall under that? Like, what do you want to do more, lyricist or DJing?
You know what? That's a crazy question. I see that I make more of an impact with my DJing, so I kind of, you know what? I see people get happy when I DJ, and I see the reaction right away. So I'm kind of addicted to making people happy. I'm like, I don't know what it is about. Like, it's just like I'm a natural entertainer in a way. Like, not that I mean like I'm good at something, but that I always want to entertain somebody. I always want to make them happy and laugh and have a good time. If they're hanging with me, I want to make sure they have a good time.
Like we are right now.
See, wait, exactly. Like we're outside just fucking around, having a good time, just laughing. Yeah. That's me. I always want to make sure, you know what I mean, I get along with people and just be like, you know.
I don't want to like put you on the spot a lot, man. But I gotta let people know, man, that you fucking got lyrics, fool.
I appreciate that. You know, it
bad
all happened when I was
motherfucker,
okay.
man.
Look, when I was in high school, I started getting into writing like just poems and shit when I was in 10th grade, just for myself. Nobody even knew about
in
it.
your English class or what?
Just on my own, just like just on my own.
What
When it was,
what inspired it?
I don't fucking know. I swear to God, I don't even know. I can't even tell you what it was. I just started doing it, and then it felt good to let that shit out. And I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do it again. And anytime I had a class, and certain classes you would pay attention, and certain classes you would be like, fuck this shit. I don't give a shit what the teacher says. Those classes are the ones where I would write, and they thought I was doing work. They were like, oh, that guy's really hard at work over there. And I was like, fucking
The back of the class and shit.
Yeah, and they were like, I don't even fucking tell him to write anything. He's writing shit. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm taking notes. Hell no, I'm writing my own shit. And anyway, Red Cloud, you know Red Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay, back then his name was Maestro, and respect to the homie Red Cloud. I'm sorry I put that out there, but it is what it is, because that's the real shit. That's the real shit. Anyway, so this fool is really responsible for me even emceeing, fool.
Really?
Yes, because I was in a singing class with this cat. I was already in my second 12th grade. Yes, I said second 12th grade. I went to 5 years of high school. Fuck it. I was the last motherfucker at Lusinger to do 5-year plan. Anyway, so that happened. And anyway, this fool found that I wrote lyrics or whatever. I wrote poems because he saw me writing. And then he read it and he was like, hey, let me borrow this, dude, because I want to get back with my girlfriend.
What the fuck?
Yeah, at the time. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. So he borrowed it. And he came back and gave it to me. He's like, it fucking worked, fool. And I was like, oh, shit, no, really? He's like, yeah, she came back to me. She was like, oh, my God, that was so beautiful. Y que la verga. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Fucking, I was happy for him. You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, you got back with your chick. And he was like, one day he would tell me, I was like, I jocked him because he was an MC. And I knew he was an MC. Yeah. And he was like, you could do that shit. And I was like, I don't know. The way you say it, I can't do it like that. And he was like, dude, you can do it. If you can write like that, just practice it and you can do it. And I remember I wrote my first rhyme in detention at Lusinger. And I showed that fool and he was impressed. And then after that, I just kept writing. And the rest was history, fool. After that, I met all kinds of cats. Like I remember the homeboy Les One. Peace.
Oh, my God.
And respect to the homeboy Les One. You know what's up with Les One.
Wow.
We met up at a party, at a party like a backyard party in Gardena somewhere. Ghetto shit. Yeah. And this fool started busting. And then Steve was like, the homie Steve Crown, you know Crown? Yeah, he was like, yo, the homie has a rap. That's what it was. I wasn't a rapper. I had a rap. I had one rap. That was it. He was like, my homie wrote a rap. And he was like, tell him to spit it. And I was like, fuck. I was nervous as shit, fool. And I went up and I spit that shit. And honestly, this shit was the wackest shit ever, right? But this fool was like, hey, that was cool. That fool Les, and that made me want to write more.
Cause Les could rap.
Les was the shit.
Badass rapper.
Les was a gifted ass motherfucker, dude. Whether it be rap or artist or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Dude, that cat was. Thank you, man. That cat was very fucking talented. And respect to homeboy Les One.
Yeah, that's
a lot of people need to look that fool up.
Yeah.
He's a legend to me. In my eyes, he's a legend.
Always.
Back in the day, just like TMK. Yeah. The homie TMK, he was part of that whole movement because they were on a song. These fools don't even remember this shit. I tell them that they were on a song where it was Click the Super Latin. He was beatboxing. TMK was scratching and Les One was rapping.
Yes.
I don't know who made the beat, but I know I had that song on a tape, and I swear to God, bro, I jocked that song, and nobody's ever known, I never heard it, but I jocked that song over and over again, and that fool Les killed it on that shit.
Yeah, one thing that I remember about Les, he was a badass graffiti artist. He influenced so many people in the South Bay and LA, and he was also a lyricist.
Yep. And they all went to Lusinger.
Yeah. And they all
Lou House in the house right here. Class 93, what up?
For sure. All right. When it comes down to all of it, Mino, right now you haven't gotten jumped into La Clika yet because Big Rick ain't here to throw in those fucking blows.
I got saved.
Yeah, but he wore the bomber jacket. He was ready for all that.
I did wear the bomber jacket.
Yeah, he was ready for to get fucking punched up. But
bombed on.
We're going to have many more podcasts with you in here.
Can he not be here when that happens?
Yeah, cause look at those arms, dog. Hey, Joel will fuck your shit up, dog.
Somebody give him a virus and just get him sick somehow. Okay, le pegue la chinipiorca and he can stay home and shit. Dale some Vicks Vaporub. And sorry, you can't jump Mino in tonight. The rest of the homies are going to take care of it for you.
All right, but
I think go ride 100 miles tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
I think we got a lot of good shit out here for our listeners, and I want them to, want more.
Okay.
And you're going to be back and you're going to spit more of your shit. You're going to keep
ready.
informing these people. You're going to
For
keep
sure.
knowing, letting them know what you do and how you do it and,
That's what's
why
up.
they should do it.
Okay.
So this will conclude La Clika Podcast for tonight.
Okay, for sure.
And when you come back, we have more to share.
They're cutting me off, everybody.
Nah, we ain't cutting you off. Hey, we ain't cutting you off. We're
I'm
saving
fucking
some
with
shit
you,
for
fool.
next time, dog.
I'm fucking with you.
Yeah,
I'm making
people-
comedy about it. Yeah.
people need-
No, I respect it, and thank you so much for having me. I didn't even know this was gonna happen.
Dude, people need
Today-
to continue listening to what you got to say, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it.
yeah.
Today
Mino's
I saw
coming back.
the little La Clika podcast shit, and I was like, oh shit, I'm the guest. I was like, what the fuck? I thought I was just gonna go there and talk to some other fool, but ask him questions. I'm like, god damn. So I was like, what do I bring? What do I do? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I just came through and I brought my thirst with the beer and
Yeah.
a little bit of herbals.
But we had a great night with y'all. Thanks for
shit.
listening to La Clika
Gracias.
Podcast. This
Thank
is
you so
Anthony
much.
from La Clika.
Yep.
And this is
Bago 74.
And this is Joel, the kid.
DJ Mino.
Chris.
thank y'all for listening to La Clika.
Peace
Pasa
out.
vos. Peace.